the LaDonna Ray Show, and I'm your host, LaDonna Ray. Thank you for tuning in. Now, I know that everyone's wondering about Diddy and what's going to happen, what's going to come of it. I actually talked about this Diddy situation back when Cassie filed her lawsuit initially so that she could definitely put him out there. But now other allegations have come forward. Now the feds are involved. And Diddy's on a private jet called Love something. Okay, I forget the name of it, but he obviously or allegedly took a flight to a Caribbean island so that he could, I don't know, get some R&R before they actually lock him up. All right, here we go. Take that, Diddy. I know you guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week on the LaDonna Ray Show. And a lot of times we cover those content creators from all over the world and movers and shakers, celebrities even. I just love talking to people and giving them an opportunity to have a platform where they can speak about themselves. But don't forget to tune in this week later on when we have Elia English, the actress from the Jamie Foxx show. She's got some new things coming up. She played Aunt Helen. So don't forget to tune into that. But I really want to talk about this bridge collapse in Maryland. First of all, when I heard about it, I was not even fully awake. And I can only think and hope that because at the time it was so late at night that nobody was on that bridge. Okay. But there were reports that they were expecting 20 people to be in the water, 8 people. The number just kept changing and moving around. And now, as you know, it has moved from search and rescue to just search. And that's what breaks my heart because you know that those people were on their way to their destination and they just didn't make it. Now, I have footage that I'm going to add in the post-production version of this show where, first of all, let's just start at the beginning. It was midnight Eastern time. I'm sorry, midnight Central time, around 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I don't believe that there are water police out during that time. I've tried to dig and find if there's like a check-in because I believe you have to kind of stay on the waters and not cross until they open up and they are able to take note and sign you in with your cargo ship. Okay. Now, this leads me to believe that there's a possibility that this particular vessel was illegally transporting and maybe even during that time we're not paying attention. So my spidey senses, here we go. There were a crew of foreign shipmen. Okay, let me get my notes here. And with that being said, on the Francis Scott Key Bridge, this ended up being a catastrophic situation. Now, my heart is still pounding because I know that those people just didn't make it to their destination. But this week, we have to dive deep into what went wrong. It was like a possible night of errors. And this is all speculation on my part. I have no confirmation. I am not connected to Maryland whatsoever, but I do know that there's been a state of emergency declared. And maybe this ship was manned by about 22 Indian crew. I'm not sure. And maybe 2 pilots. Now, with those 2 pilots, were they both aware? Because the power went out just before it hit the main structure of the bridge. My thing is this, even if my car's engine stops, I have control over which way I turn my wheel and pushing those brakes, and I have an emergency brake. And I would imagine that a vessel of this size has the same thing. Now, I know brakes don't just on the water, but there are 2 separate structures. There's a left and a right. Why was the boat or why was the cargo ship so close to the right? Period. Why wasn't it going down the middle? This is my question. Why wasn't it going down the middle so that if something were to happen, that they could kind of make their way manually out of it? But if you're so close to a structure and now the power goes out, you have no choice but to hit that structure and it collapses like a card castle, if you will. I'm not sure if they were even traveling at the right speed. Were they trying to play catch up? If they were trying to play catch up, then this would cause them to be at a increased speed and not be able to do anything about it if the power goes out or if any malfunction takes place. So if they decided to push through to beat the clock and the power goes out, then this could only be the end result. And this is something that I am just battling or trying to wrap my head around because if you're, I know a cargo ship, it's so huge and it looks like it's moving slow, but it's moving kind of fast. But at what speed was this ship moving where they didn't have time to get gain or regain control of the ship? And just because the power goes out does not mean that it is or ineligible for manual override. Okay, because the automation would be autopilot. Think about an airplane. If the autopilot goes out, the pilot has to kick in and pull that puppy up, left, right, whatever it has to do. So I'm thinking that the ingenuity behind this cargo ship would be the exact same, if not better, because you're on a surface and you have less time to figure this thing out. So this is an unforeseen tragedy, but was it negligence? You have to ask yourself, was it negligence? Were they supposed to be barged? Were they supposed to just sit there and wait until safe passage was permissible? Is my question. Now, if no water police had the intervention that, at that time of night, not expecting a cargo ship to pass through, and if they make it, they make it, and if they don't, then this happens? Huh? Like, what the world? So my heart, our hearts here at the LaDonna Ray Show goes out to those families that were involved, and even the crew members. I know they've got to be devastated. But if this is something that has been going on for quite some time, then it's been okay for quite some time. The other question to raise is when all the bridges were updated back in, what was it, the late 80s, early 90s, this bridge they missed this one. I mean, the structure, I had a map that showed the cemented structure that holds and keeps anything from bumping into the case. It's like a casing that allows water pressure to not compromise the structure of the cement blocks. But in the updated version of these bridges, that's supposed to be high enough, whereas if something were to smash or impact, it won't have an impact, I should say, on the entire bridge. And looking at how it came down, it looked like something that was built early on that was not prepared for this type of possibility. Because of someone's negligence, and it may be negligence on three parts: the engineers of the bridge, the mayor, and even the cargo ship itself. Heck, throw the water police in there. Okay. But I wasn't there. It's just I have had my eyes glued to this situation. And if there are any updates that I'm missing, please forgive me. But what are your thoughts? What could have been done to avoid this? Because I can just picture a ship of this magnitude going through two separate structures, going straight down the middle, and power going out, and they still make it across, instead of being so close to the left or the right and hitting one of those structures and causing an entire catastrophe, if you will. I am calling out the people involved that make these decisions and kind of just put it off to the side for 30 years. I am calling them out because of your negligence. Somebody had to die in order for this to be addressed officially. And I'm not happy about it. No one's happy about it because Now it's not a black and white thing. It's not a gay or straight thing. It's not a anything. It is a unforeseen catastrophe that took place, and now people's lives have been lost. I know that some people they may be upset because they can't get across the bridge. I get it. Please be patient. But the ones that did, they were on their way to work, possibly. They were on their way on a vacation, or possibly. Someone, I hope they just didn't make it. And this could have been avoided. I don't know if the crew members were having a good old time before this happened and then this happened. I don't know if someone was sleeping. But these are all situations to be considered. These are all things to think about. I mean, in the wake of this collapse, the community's response has been a mixed bag of outrage. There's a call for accountability here. Now, that's not going to bring the people back, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll hear from those that have something to say so that this doesn't happen again. It's 2024, people. We should have moved past this just as much as we should have almost moved past racism. I'm sorry about this situation, and I know that we can all pull together and write our letters and vote the right people in and hold them accountable. Don't let this just slide by. Hold them accountable. All parties involved. Hold them accountable. Go ahead and put your thoughts in the chat, in the comments. Let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe, because I've been keeping my ear to the pavement. I just haven't wrapped my head around how to keep the conversations going. It's going to take more than just a few people. How many school shootings have to happen? How many bridges have to collapse? How much police brutality will it take? I see there's some comments out there. Let me grab them. All right, we've got some good mornings, hellos, and here we go. In solidarity with those impacted by the recent collapse of the Francis Scott Bridge in Baltimore, we extend our heartfelt empathy and support to them. Thank you. Thank you. That is from Destiny Changers, and that is actually my church. Thank you so much for that heartfelt send-off, and it's definitely needed. Here's another comment that we have from Brian Altheimer. Real talk, before you discuss this, you might want to get some facts on the incident. I did. Okay. There's some things that are being posted, reported. I did say this is from my personal opinion in the beginning. I don't have confirmation. I did say that. So the facts that I have reported, yes, those are the facts that I have that have been reported. Now, if I want you to know something about anything that I've been involved in, I can tell you, I can write a report based on what I want you to know. But I brought up some things that could be some other possibilities. So just think about that. There are several parties involved, and I'm tired of looking at the reports and moving on to the next incident. I am tired of it. Let's write a report, cover our butts, and move on. I'm sick of it. Heads need to roll. I'm out. I'll see you on the next LaDonna Ray Show, and have a great and fantastic morning. To the people that were involved in the bridge collapse, we are with you. Take it easy. Bye-bye for now.